I suppose we have to go to son number 2 for this one. And I appreciate, we don't do Eric Trump clips very often because he doesn't talk as much as his brother does. But when he does, it's usually you get a gem from him. And that whole clean business horse shit that gave us that moment where we could really do at least a mild dive into the amount of money laundering going on, not just in real estate in general, but in Trump Tower and in Trump properties across the board. That's going to be somewhere I have to constantly bring up, methinks. That's got to be a part of the conversation. Yeah? Meanwhile, guys. Now, the way these kids talk about these kids, they're grown human beings, but the way they talk about their father as this being separate from the family all the time, like this, Don Jr., we need a guy like Trump right now. And this is a Newsmax clip, so this isn't his usual, 3 minutes of fucking... is he on Bowling as well? No, he's on Greg Kelly. Oh, this is going to be sweet. Okay, I have not watched this. So, this is going to be two people fighting to be seen and loved by Donald Trump. Of the two people on Earth, these are the ones who want it most. Don Jr. and Greg Kelly. Shit.
What an incredibly unique experience yesterday.
Agreed.
Must have been for Donald J. Trump. It was for the...
Yeah, that's how you put it. It was a unique experience. It was singularly unique, asshole. No other former president has ever been indicted and charged with a crime. Yes, that's the very definition of unique.
Country. There he is, larger than life, on his way to, downtown, to the police, to processing, to the prosecutor.
To the police. Larger than life. How did he fit in the car?
Office to be, technically arrested?
Yes.
Look, you know how I feel about this.
Yes, and I'm surprised you can talk with his balls in your mouth.
He came through after processing on his way to the courtroom. He looked like a champion, and
he totally did. A broken champion, a former champion, a weathered and withering champion, but still.
One ready for another big fight. I call this picture Eye of the Tiger.
Sure you do. I call it full diaper, but whatever. Tomato.
In court, they actually see the indictment for
Yeah, he doesn't look at all like a toddler sitting outside the principal's office.
First time, and everybody seems to understand that it's a huge joke of an indictment. And then it's on to Mar-a-Lago, where he is welcomed by friends, family, supporters.
Yeah, not his wife, but...
In a speech watched by millions and in the...
Right. And then, the first 5 minutes. And then the next 5 minutes were watched by hundreds of thousands. And then the next 3 minutes were watched by thousands. And then just kind of sat there and wrote it out.
The front row was our next guest, Donald.
Oh, okay. So definitely not having Melania on the show, I guess.
Trump Jr. You can see him there in the pink tie.
Oh, okay. That's who it is. I get them all mixed up. He's the short one, right? He's the shortest son.
And he joins us from Florida tonight. Donald Trump Jr., welcome back. What a wild day indeed. How you doing?
Listen, I've been better. I guess, we're tough. We're used to this at this point, Greg. I mean, it's been, 7?
No, you're not. This has never happened before. Also, your brother is, from the timing of this video, has never felt prouder. So you're letting your father down. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Years of constant attacks and Russia, and then impeachments and Mueller, and it never ends. I know that I'm not the upstanding man that Hunter Biden is, but I think if the roles were reversed a little bit, I'd be in jail. So I guess we're used to it. And unfortunately,
you mean if somebody got a hold of a hard drive that mixed fake and real material from your laptop and your phone and gave it to, I don't know, a Clinton lawyer to be released, and then they slow drabbed it out in front of the election, and oh no, I think you'd be fine.
Unfortunately, though, perhaps that's what it's going to take for the country to wake up and understand just how far we have fallen.
Yeah, I got news for you. A lot of those folks now have jobs building infrastructure.
Probably far much more than perhaps we ever would have imagined or acknowledged if it wasn't for Donald Trump. Meaning we were probably there, but they did a really good job of keeping their real feelings for the American people hidden. Trump just brought that out, and so hopefully that wakes people up.
Yes, they don't hate me. They hate you, and I'm in the way. They're not booing me. They're booing you. Who's booing who?
Yeah, so look, I'm watching this on TV. It's unfolding, and a lot of the supporters are, yeah, look at that. But I sense there's real pain. I mean, this is hard for you. Is there?
I thought you said that it was Eye of the Tiger. What do you mean, sense there's real pain, asshole? A minute, did I? Am I drunk? What the fuck happened? Chat room? Can someone check me on this? Am I losing my mind? I don't understand.
Is there ever regret that you guys got involved in all of this? I mean, it's great for the country, bad for
it is great for the country that your dad has been indicted, but do you ever regret it?
Family, do you regret it? Does he ever regret it?
Do you regret being just the way you are? Do you ever regret walking past a reflective surface? I know I do.
I guess it depends on which hat you're wearing, right? If I'm wearing my businessman hat, it's less than awesome. If I'm wearing my father of 5 young children, less than awesome. As if I'm wearing my patriotic American hat, we have no choice, Greg. We have no choice.
Yeah, we have no choice as patriotic Americans to I don't know, destroy. Hold on one second. I'm moving this up out of the way because it gets in there. What? It's less than awesome as a father of 5 children.
Politicians, what the imbeciles in charge have done to our country.
Your dad was one of those imbeciles. He's singularly that imbecile.
Have done to our economy, have done to our borders, how they've emboldened our enemies day in and day out. We have no choice. That same father of 5 young kids, me, has to leave them a country that they'd recognize. And so, no, we have no regrets. We have to do it. And again,
what do you mean? Where you're a 3rd generation rich kid and they can go to private schools and all that kind of stuff and not have to hang around with the riffraff?
We don't have a choice. We're fighting for
we're fighting for our gated community,
our existence as a country. We're fighting for all that is good and decent about America. And all of that is under fire
such
and under
as
threat from the radical left and the lunatics. You see it every day with what they prioritize, the things they don't even talk about and sweep under the rug, the persecution of their political enemies. And
I don't think we're sweeping that under the rug in theory, right? Wasn't that out in the open?
Again, hopefully this is the wake-up call that everyone needs to see what's really going on.
Yes. Well, Leather Goddess of Bobos points out, like, you already left your 5 kids for Kimberly.
Our government.
Well, you're an amazing warrior. You're out there on social media.
You're an amazing warrior. You're out there on social media. Calm the fuck down.
You own the libs.
Yeah, you're owning those libs every day. If only you owned property worth a popcorn fart.
All the time. By the way, your life changed incredibly. I mean, you were always Donald Trump Jr. You were Donald Trump's son, and that was.
And now you're not anymore. How's that feel?
It was kind of that was a certain type of life, I guess, a status. It was a thing, but now you're Donald Trump Jr. I mean, the name.
What I wouldn't give to be you right now. If I could do you ever see Freaky Friday? Okay. Stop me if I start masturbating. But
the name is historic. The name is iconic in a way that it wasn't 7 years ago. I mean, it was a big deal. What's that like? And does my question make any sense? Forgive me, but
no, it does. Listen, put it this way:
I'm creeped out. I'm creeped out. Greg always like the way he slathers over this fucking family is always weird. That's fucked up.
Donald Trump Jr. 7 years ago as the son of a billionaire real estate developer, and
and then everybody realized he's not really a real estate developer, and not really a billionaire. Now what?
TV star who was loved by everyone across the
No, he wasn't.
country. It was a lot easier than being Donald Trump Jr., political activist fighting for his father to get a conservative back in the presidency. It would have been a lot easier for all of
Wait a minute. You guys are backing Kasich?
us to shut up, build buildings, be invited to the cool person party. That was sort of interesting. The second he announced.
All right. First of all, you weren't invited to the cool person parties. You showed up anyways. And what buildings? Since he's been running the fucking company, and before, when he was just the executive vice president from like the mid 90s on, or I guess late 90s, they don't build anything anymore. It's a branding company.
All the people that denounced us. I'm like, that's weird. We had dinner last month. What changed?
Now their people are calling them out for hanging out with you, and they're like, yeah, I can't hide it anymore. You're a fucking asshole.
But you see that. I mean, the hypocrisy,
of your friends,
of the people that now hate Donald Trump that used to love Donald Trump. We're actually putting out a book about it called Letters to Trump, from all the radical lunatics that used to kiss his proverbial rear end. It's just shocking what's going on when you stand up for hardworking blue-collar Americans. And I understand the irony of a guy like Donald Trump being that voice, but we need a guy like Trump right now. We've seen how far we've fallen.
First of all, asshole, you had, quote unquote, a guy like Trump for 4 fucking years. And he did ass. Nothing fundamentally changed while he was president. Even the wall itself was a reinforced slat fence that just replaces like barbed wire and chain link fence that was there before. And a lot of the money that he got was allocated during the Obama administration for repairs. Even the tax break was something that the Republicans had in their fucking back pocket for years.
And we've seen how corrupted they are. And you need someone who, isn't afraid. You need someone who's totally on.
I don't know. He looked afraid. He looks pretty afraid.
Afraid to, burn that system down, because if we don't, I don't know that there's any recovery.
Yeah. So that's far left, far right. That's the phrase everybody loves to go. The system that exists is just, it's so, irrevocably broken. It is just destroyed already. So we got to burn it down and start from scratch. The whole system's got to go. All right, then what do you put in its place? What does it look like, Mr. Policy fucking wonk? We got to defund the FBI and replace it with what? No coordination between states in terms of interstate crime? So we just become a fucking serial killer playground like it's 1972 all over again?
Indictment, even the haters out there, the Donald Trump haters, they're disappointed. This indictment is a joke.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm enjoying this quite thoroughly. As a matter of fact, I think it's kind of like in the great 7-course meal that we're about to experience in Trump indictments over the next year and a half, let's say. The perfect appetizer. Just kind of like lead off the meal while the big dishes are being cooked is, of course, this one that constantly brings up the fact that he paid off a porn star and then tried to hide it from voters. I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's like the guac has hit the table. It's not going to fill you up, but it's so good. It's hard not to eat it all.
You guys were doing everything it looks like above board. And look at this.
It looks like it. Obviously, you haven't looked very far.
Full screen 16. This is actually from the charging document. The first check was paid from the defendant's trust and signed by Trump Organization CFO and the defendant's son as trustees. This is not the kind of thing you do if you're trying to hide something, if you're trying to deceive. And by the way, is that son you or is it Eric? Did you know about this part?
That son is me. And like I said, it's clearly also not a campaign finance violation if it's from his own trust. Not.
Yeah, it is, because you were paying for your campaign through there, stupid.
To a campaign, not from a campaign.
And by the way, the campaign violation came from when Michael Cohen paid for it. This is the part where I don't know why they don't understand when they're tying themselves in knots. Michael Cohen pays for her to keep her fucking trap shut. That is an illegal campaign contribution that he was busted for. He went to jail for that. If you reimburse him, it still stays a campaign payment because the campaign is over and you're paying him for putting money into your campaign account before the campaign happened. However the fuck you do it. Yes, you paid it out of the trust because you're fucking dumb.
Not from funds raised from, so none of it actually makes any sense, right?
Well, it wouldn't if you're stupid.
But again, that's what we have to wake up to. That doesn't matter. That didn't stop them from throwing, J6 defendants in jail for 2 years without due process.
They all had due process. What the fuck are you talking about?
I believe, they do their whole preaching. They're saviors of democracy.
Oh, little bunny fuck you has shown up with his best friend.
Well, only one way, right? They don't believe in democracy the other way. They don't believe in, if others have differing views of theirs, they don't believe that those people have any rights, and they've demonstrated.
Okay, first of all, who is in jail for January 6th for differing views? Because there was a shit ton of people that showed up to listen to his dad's fucking blather who believed every fucking word, but when it was all over, the Capitol was that way, and they went this way. None of them are in jail. If it's all about differing people, they'll just lock up anybody who just believes differently than them. Then why did tens of thousands walk away without being charged? Because they didn't attack the fucking place.
There very clearly, especially over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so, that's clear, and that's what we're fighting for.
You spent a good chunk of your childhood in the woods hunting and things like that, and I know you.
For what? Bags of coke that you dropped when you were running?
Also, a good chunk of your childhood in the city. Did you ever cross paths with Alvin Bragg? I'm told that he may have gone to some of the same schools. Did you ever in your life meet this guy? And I think we have some video. We have some video of him. If you don't recognize what he looks like. Of him, he really did. He did not impress many people yesterday during this press conference and through his paperwork. Did you ever meet him, and do you have any thoughts about him?
Not that I know of. I may have. I mean, I lived there for 40 years of my life. I have since escaped and now live in Florida, where let's just say the atmosphere is a lot better, a lot friendlier, a lot less crime. You don't have to worry about those things. And again, just a few short years ago.
You think he ever has played the Florida Man Challenge?
So in New York, you didn't have to worry about it. I have friends, their wives, they go to work and they get together after work because they're afraid to travel on the subways by themselves. They try to go in groups, and I'm hearing these conversations. It's like New York's turned into this dystopian society.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You do realize this is New York we're talking about, right? Turned into.
In such a short period of time, and they've allowed it. You've seen this felony count spike. You've seen the carjacking spike, the muggings. Like, they could care less. But, let's go after Trump with an indictment that even the people at CNN are saying, wow, that's it. You can see how distraught they are that's it. That's what we've after.
For the record, that's not it. It's one of the it's not the it.
6 years, the walls are closing in, Greg. We've been hearing this for, half a decade. And, here we go again. And when even they are shocked at how little substance, when they are knocking it, I think it tells you everything you need to know.
Real quick, you're good at this stuff, whether you like it or not.
Also, by the way, the company that Trump's father started, that this asshole ran during Trump's presidency, whether you believe he was fully in charge or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That company was charged and found guilty and paid fines because of illegal activities, and the CFO went to jail. So the idea that this is somehow, in all of this business bullshit, these 11 million documents, that this is all they found was this payment to Stormy Daniels or whatever, and they just blown off everything else. There's still charges to be brought against Alan Weisselberg, much less Trump and the kids.
Okay, the combat every single day. You're Donald Trump Jr. Are you going to run for office someday?
Oh, God. I don't know. You got to want the day job, too. I mean, I believe in this stuff. I fight for it. Like I said, it'd be a lot easier to, be in New York and shut up and build buildings and not be a conservative and not talk about it, even if I was. And that's just not the way I am. I'm out there. I have my own podcast on Rumble talking about these issues.
Yeah, you could be building buildings, but it's easier to have a podcast on Rumble. I could be a multi-billion-dollar real estate mogul, but I don't know how to do that. So Rumble it is, I guess.
All the time, just we got to fight for it. I have those 5 kids. I got to make sure the country we are leaving our children right now is in serious trouble. And perhaps the events of the last week have shown us that perhaps we've even crossed that Rubicon.
Oh my God, Rubicon.
Hopefully people realize that, but we have to salvage her. It's not about changing direction. We have to pull her back off the brink. And that's not going to be easy. That's going to require everyone, Greg.
He means Lady Liberty, apparently. He's got, don't let her fall. Grab her by the pussy, apparently.
People have to wake up and understand what's going on. And they have to realize that if they can do it to Donald Trump, they can.
Yeah, okay. Fuck off with this. They can do it to anybody. It's the other way around, asshole.
Anyone. And if they
can already do it to anyone except Donald Trump for a long time.
Will do it to Donald Trump. They certainly will do it
Tobias.
to someone who doesn't have the means to defend themselves, doesn't have the huge soapbox or following to be able to get their side of the story out. They've made that very clear.
Yeah, there's no one that I am aware of, and I'm sure the chat room will have difficulty coming up with a name possibly as well. There are very few people that could get in legal trouble for hiding campaign payments to silence a porn star and that affair that don't have a soapbox to talk on online, as they own the libs.
Here, and that's again what we're fighting for.
Donald Trump Jr., Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization and son of the president, and also the father of 5. Please, our best to the family, especially those kids. Many thanks.
Especially those kids, not Eric's, obviously. Fuck those kids. I don't know what. I'm sorry. I should have even brought him up. I know you hate that. 2 guys fighting to be the favorite son.